Welcome back, everyone. Great to be here with you on this live edition, Saturday, of the Cabral Concept. These are our weekend house call shows where I answer our community's questions every Saturday and every Sunday. We've been doing this now for more than 6 years, answered well over 5,000 of our community's questions, and still going strong. Thank you so much, by the way, for being a part of this community. I don't say it enough, and I just want you to know that I do appreciate you. I really do. Your listens, your downloads, your follows, your subscribes, your reviews all mean the world to me. They really do. So thank you. All right, let's get into today's show. As you know, I'm here to answer your questions, and that's something that I'd love to be able to do, to try to give back as much as I can, just to make sure that I'm always available. I mean, I just want to make sure that I'm able to get to your questions. Yes, they take a couple weeks to answer. They do, but it's still what I feel my way in order to be able to be connected to our community, truly understand what you're going through, and then do my best to continue to teach on that on a Monday through Friday basis of new ideas, new topics to go much deeper on. So these will all be around 3 minutes per answer, and it's a good place to get started, something to think about, but again, not providing you with any medical advice, any diagnosis or treatment-based plans, okay? So let's get started. This question is from our friend Yasmin. Yasmin saying, I was listening to your podcast about zinc. I take a supplement of a combined version, which includes calcium, magnesium, and zinc. Would that be a good supplement to take? Okay, good question. And all of those products, or I should say ingredients, nutrients, calcium, magnesium, which are minerals, zinc is also a mineral, are all very important. I would just caution you, because again, I don't know the dosage. Dosage is a big part of it, but also the elemental form of those ingredients. So for example, calcium is great as a calcium citrate or other forms. Magnesium is great is basically a great form except for oxide. Citrate is fine. Malate is fine, lysinate is fine, glycinate is fine. They all have different absorption rates, and they kind of do different things in the body, magnesium 3 and 8. But they're great, for the most part. You can use a carbonate form only when you're looking to use it as a buffer for acid. And then zinc, there's a lot of great forms as well. So really the question is, should I take a calcium, magnesium, and zinc product? Well, the truth is, most people may not need to if they're already taking something like the daily nutritional support or the daily activated multivitamin. I don't like people to do a lot of extra add-on vitamins if they're not using a daily nutritional support or daily activated multi. And the reason is that you don't want to cherry pick which nutrients your body needs more of. I like to give the body all of the nutrients it needs, not at mega dosages, and then allow the body to use it as it sees fit, especially with fat-soluble vitamins. You don't want to go overboard with those, with the vitamin A, the vitamin D, the vitamin E, and the vitamin K. So, but then, do I recommend zinc or magnesium on top of that? I often do. I really do. So, like, for example, we have a new product called Daily Bone Support. Okay. It's going to contain calcium, magnesium. It's going to contain zinc. It's going to contain other factors as well, like vitamin D and K as well. So, not saying it's a bad product to take. When you need calcium, magnesium, well, you need it for good bone support. You need it for the nervous system. You need it for the muscles. You need zinc for the immune system, rebuilding muscles. So again, I don't know if it's the right product for you, but I would do a foundational protocol first, like the Daily Foundation Protocol, level 2 or level 3. You can find that at stevencabral.com/shop under the supplement section. And then probably something like the immunity protocol, which is C, D, and zinc. And then after that, decide, okay, do you need additional nutrients as well? And usually that's found out on lab testing. And the labs I recommend for vitamin and mineral levels is called a starter kit. You can find the starter kit at stevencabral.com/shop or stevencabral.com/labs, and that'll take you right over there. Okay. Samantha's up next. Samantha says, I developed what I thought were varicose veins in my upper thighs and behind my knees. I was so blown away because I'm not overweight or pregnant or elderly or sitting or standing for long periods of day. I just heard that one of the symptoms of COVID is thrombosis. I'm wondering if these sometimes painful itchy veins could be thrombosis or how I could treat them naturally. Okay, so again, I don't provide any medical advice, any medical treatment programs, but of course, I have lots of podcasts on veins. So I've got lots of podcasts on varicose veins, and you can look all those up at stevencabral.com/podcast. podcasts. Okay. StephenCabral.com/podcast. Type in your keyword like varicose veins. Let's do that right now. So we'll make sure we get you this. And then I'm going to give you an answer on the thrombosis part of it. We got to go to StephenCabral.com. I must be rusty. It's only been 5 days since I did the show. So varicose veins, StephenCabral.com/podcasts. Internet's acting a little slow right now. Too many devices, I guess, linked up to it. We'll wait for this to load up, and then I'll be able to get you your answer, okay? So what about thrombosis? Well, here's the thing. We're not going to use thrombosis as a symptom or a way of diagnosing COVID. Like, that's not something we want to do. What we want to look at overall with a lot of COVID-based symptoms is inflammation. I've said this before, but most people's body do a pretty good job at fighting off this particular virus. But what they're left with is a lot of inflammation, okay? So I have podcasts on long COVID, long haulers, and it's really about an inflammation or inflammatory-based issue that affects the mitochondria, and it affects the circulation of the body. And that's really what you're talking about right now. And so just what I want to share with you is looking at deeper underlying root causes for why that inflammation might be there. And if it is the virus itself, okay, then what are we going to do? Well, we're going to work on getting the immune system up. We're going to work on rebalancing the body, getting the body healthy, and then hopefully this goes away. If this is more of a longer term issue, we want to look at a circulatory issue, and certainly, we can work on that too. I just don't have enough information to kind of push you down one direction or the other. All right, Marcy's up next. Hi, Dr. Cabral. Bless you for sharing vital health information with the world. My question, I'm 55, in good health. I supplement daily with zinc and copper and vitamin C and vitamin D. Excuse me. Quercetin, B complex, A, and magnesium. About 7 weeks ago, I started having a cycle of cluster headaches. I started on a particular medication and plan to wean off now that the headaches have stopped. These come every 2 to 3 years. I feel like I heard you make a side comment in one of your house call questions about tartar on teeth, but I've searched and haven't come up with anything. Can you share what might be the cause of tartar buildup? We just moved from headaches to tartar. Okay. I'm not sure what changed, but over the last couple months, I seem to quickly get tartar buildup after brushing my teeth with the electric toothbrush and cleaning with a dental tool. My curiosity is about the root cause, which I thought I heard you say something about lack of cod liver oil in the diet. My dentist is always amazed at how healthy my mouth is and how little cleaning needs to be done. I've also heard you say something about K2 in relation to this issue. Thank you for your time. All right, Marcy, let's get to the bottom of this. Okay, so I actually want to be able to answer Samantha's question about those varicose veins. So what I'm going to have, what I'm going to do right now is just type it in and then just make sure, Samantha, I just want everybody to know this, that they can do follow-ups at cabralsupportgroup.com and make sure that they're getting the answers to their questions. But varicose veins was discussed in episode 1919. So again, StephenCabral.com. And then you can always just put in the number 1919, 1324, 1317, 890, and 484. Okay? All right. For our friend Marcy. Okay, let's get to the bottom of this. Cluster headaches. Cluster headaches can be set off, triggered by a food response, a stress response, a lot to do with cytokines, histamines, etc. Doesn't seem like you asked about that though, because now you're good, but you're asking about tartar in the teeth. Okay, it was not me who said a lack of cod liver oil or vitamin K was to cause this. So that was not me. So when the body though has more anaerobic based bacteria in the mouth, you can start to build up more tartar, partially as more of a biofilm, a protective response by the body to coat the teeth and for breaking down. It's one response. That's it. And so what I would look at is saying, are you eating different foods, or are you using something that may actually change the pH of the mouth? So are you using anything too acidic in the mouth or even too alkaline in the mouth? You want to keep the bacteria in the mouth balanced, just like you would on the skin or the scalp or anywhere else. So what I look at is always variables. We're able to figure out what went wrong with an individual based on the variables that changed. So are you using a different toothpaste? And that toothpaste, even though it may be a healthy toothpaste, is not agreeing with you. For example, does it contain baking soda, and for some reason that doesn't work with your mouth, even though it might work with mine or someone else's? Does it contain tea tree oil? Does it contain, so things that would typically be good, did you switch that? And is that why the tartar's still starting to build up? Did you have to take antibiotics? And that's when the tartar started to build up a couple weeks after that. So I would look at, okay, what variable changed and why you're starting to get this buildup. Okay, but it was not cod liver oil or K2 on my end. Tiffany's up next. Hi, Dr. Ball. I recently purchased new pans. The Caraway, I came across an article shortly after stating that the pans tested positive for 20 metals. Any advice? Okay, well, I mean, if they test high in metals and you're saying they tested high in lead and mercury and a few others, you may want to see if you can return the pans for any of the pans that I recommended before, which would be either ceramic or they would be stainless or they would be glass or other. So that's I think the best you can do, right? Because if you're cooking on a pan that tests high in something like lead or mercury, well, that over time, small amounts are going to get into your food. So I'd be careful for that. I really would. And you can find all of my different resources and what I use with my family and in my practice at stephencabral.com/resources. There's over 100 different products that I use in my practice and with my family. Okay. Good question. Lorena is up next. What are your thoughts on pickled Japanese ginger? I love having these with my meals in Japanese restaurants, so I wanted to make sure they are healthy. Haha, absolutely love your podcast. Thank you, Lorena. I appreciate that. I actually enjoy them as well. I really do. I like those little ginger slivers. And so when you look at what they are made out of, well, the healthy ones are made out of sliced ginger, peeled sliced ginger, and then they are made with sugar and vinegar. So there's a little sugar, and that's what adds the sweet to the spice, because real ginger is very spicy. Now, the amazing thing about ginger is that it's a great digestive. I don't talk a lot about this, but in traditional Chinese medicine, they talk about foods as damp foods or heating foods or whatever. Fish is a damp food. So if someone has congestion or they're prone to any type of like kapha-based issues, fish might not always be the best choice for them. But remember, just like drinking smoothies in the winter, you can do something to change that to actually make it healthy for you. So for example, you could add ginger to your smoothie in the winter. You could add ginger to your fish, right? Some type of spice to the fish, something heating would allow you then to balance that dampness. So ginger being drying and heating will balance that fish. Now, so, okay, what about vinegar? Well, vinegar will add more acidity to the stomach while you're trying to break down that meal. So that's not necessarily bad either. It's not a lot of sugar, so I wouldn't get overly concerned about that either. A lot of people go bananas over like literally a gram of sugar and they lose their mind and they're missing the overall, big picture. So what I would say is this. The problem is if it's a brownish color, then it's probably one of the healthier versions. It's natural. It's just made with vinegar, sugar, a little bit of sugar, and ginger. Now, some of them in restaurants, though, are pink. I don't know any pink ginger. I'm assuming those are used with food coloring and dye. I would not eat the ones that have been colored. All right, so hopefully that is helpful. Rachel's up next. Hello, I've been dealing with leaky gut and food sensitivities for a long time after clearing SIBO, which is small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. I have removed gluten, had a stool test, hormones test, micronutrients test, but things are not getting better with treatment. We are looking at food sensitivities more, but I had a test done 2 years ago, and I'm afraid there's an underlying issue. What would you do next? Thanks for everything you do. Okay, so Rachel, my opinion is this, and this I feel very strongly about this. You've removed gluten, which you did great. You did a stool test. It doesn't sound like you're using the labs that Equilife recommends. Just remember, Equilife provides labs to you. We don't have our own lab company. You are doing tests that are outside of what we do. And that is because we use labs that we know get a good clinical result. I personally would run the bacteria and parasite stool test through Equilife or an IHP level 2. I would run the Candida metabolic and vitamins test through Equilife or an integrative health practitioner level 2. That's what I would do. I mean, I really would do that, honestly. That's what's going to give you the most data. It's going to give you a plan with it. It comes with a consultation. And if you've been dealing with this for 2 years and still not finding the underlying root cause, that's what I would do. So I'm not saying that you need to leave your practitioner or whoever it might be. I just would get a second opinion. There's nothing wrong with that. You don't have to work with the Equal Life coach or even an integrative health practitioner level 2, but run the labs with them, get a second opinion. There's nothing wrong with that. And then you could go back to working with your other practitioner if you choose to. That's fine, because most likely you haven't done the CBO protocol with the citricidal drops. You haven't done any of the things that we recommend for rebalancing the gut that we know work. Again, like there's no ego here. There's no, you have to do it our way. It's not about that. I honestly, that does not matter to me at all. If someone's getting results, then, more power to them. High fives. I think it's amazing. I really do. But we've been doing this now for a very long time. We've done over 250,000 client appointments. We specialize in many of the things that you're talking about. And I just want to make sure you get well. That's it. I mean, I really do. And you don't have to even work with Equal Life. I mean, of course, you can find these labs at stevencabral.com, stevencabral.com/labs, or you can go to ihp.coach/practitioners and find a level 2. And you can work with any integrative health practitioner level 2. So again, you don't even have to work with us if you choose not to. That's okay. I just want to make sure you get the results that you need. Run the kidney and metabolic and vitamins test. Run the bacteria and parasite stool test. Get the data that you need, get the plan that you need, get well, rebalance the body, and start enjoying life again. That's what it's all about. So hopefully that was helpful, Rachel. Thank you everyone for writing in. Again, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. I'll be back tomorrow answering 6 more of our community's questions. Take care.